Hey there, traders and investors. It's Rod with Powder. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Today's a recap for Monday, April 19th, the day before 420. Hope everyone had an awesome day today. And the topic of the day today is going to be the DDD stock, so 3D Systems Corp. And we're going to talk about whether or not it is a buy at these levels. But before we jump into that, we're going to look at some overall news and events on the day. And we'll look at the broader market. Then we'll jump into the DDD stock and some individual stock tickers as well. But before we do, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. And we had some FUD today on Tesla. Tesla stock lost 700, and this came after there was a Tesla crash that reportedly killed 2 men in Spring, Texas, and there was nobody in the driver's seat is what the investigation is showing. And I just want to, send out my thoughts to the families involved in that, but just make sure that if you are using autopilot on any of these, newer vehicles, just know that it's a new technology. I wouldn't even want to be falling asleep at the wheel in the driver's seat, let alone not even in the driver's seat at all. So just be careful. I certainly wouldn't be risking my life and, just putting my fate in the hands of a new technology. So just be careful and cautious on that type of, scenario, because it can happen to anybody and you just never know. Coca-Cola beats on earnings and says demand in March hit the pre-economic crisis that we have at hand levels. Moving on, GameStop shares jump after the CEO steps down and Roaring Kitty raises its stake. Also, if you were affected by this class action lawsuit in 3D Systems, there was a securities fraud and class action lawsuit that was happening. So you can check out that article if you were affected by that. But the stock was down quite a bit here today and likely impacted by that, and also just ran really, really hot. And we have earnings coming up as well. So we'll look at that in just a second. I'll put some timestamps in the description below as well. And crypto stock mania tested by sliding prices. So we had a huge Bitcoin slump that brought down the entire market. So we went from 65,000 all-time high on Bitcoin down to the low of 51,000. We had support at 50,300 and we hit a low of 51,300 on Coinbase. Everything is bouncing back fairly decent here now. And as long as we hold 50,000 on Bitcoin, I think we're in a fairly good position. And the weekly uptrend, as long as we maintain that weekly uptrend, it's looking like we could see a bounce back to all-time highs and 70,000. Ultimately, my target is 70,000, 80,000, and on the high end, looking at 100,000 this bull cycle. But Doge posted a video today in the group for private members. Just go check out on YouTube, just search up Charles Hoskinson and Doge Bubble. It was on April 16th. It's only about 6 minutes long, but essentially he's the founder of Cardano and ADA, and he was also a co-founder of Ethereum, and he talks about how Doge is in one massive bubble. And I mean, we were just at 0.002 cents, so 20% of a penny about a year ago. So if you put $1,000 into this a year ago, it's now worth over about $250,000. So do you really think there's going to be much more upside? The path of least resistance is down. In my opinion, we're at a $50 billion market cap, which is bigger than some, Barclays and some Fortune 500 companies, which is just absolutely insane because it was created as a joke, and it was created by, an ex-PayPal executive, and there's not even a development team behind it. So if you made money, great. There was a daily inside bar that broke bullish, but we are potentially forming a daily lower high. So if we lose the lows here, we could be forming a reversal, and we need to be cautious of these lower highs compared to the 45-cent high that we had. And we hit a high of 43.5 cents here on this bounce, on this daily bounce off that inside bar bull break. But it's time to be cautious. And just taking a look at Bitcoin here on the weekly. So again, we held EMA 12 perfectly, and we had support there at 50,300. We had a low of 51,300. So that was a save, and we held EMA 12 as well, which we've been holding all the way since down here when we first crossed it. We haven't lost EMA 12 since $9,800. That is a long ways away. So line in the sand is going to be 50,000 and that EMA 12, but 50,000 the most important. So taking a look at the broader market, taking a look at SPY today, we finally saw daily consolidation and down about 1% from the all-time high. So that is what we consider a significant, not a significant, but a decent pullback that we can consider now a daily higher low. And we'll want to change the hourly trend and set these daily higher lows, and then we can be looking up to all-time highs. But we have Snap earnings and Netflix earnings this week. and we saw daily consolidation in QQQ. So again, need to change the hourly trend to be confident that the daily higher lows are set, but we're still in a daily uptrend. We still held daily support at 335.67. So if we lose the low of the day today, we'll be looking down at that support level, and then it's up to all-time highs at 342.23 resistance. But again, we have earnings coming out, and QQQ is looking extremely bullish. Netflix is looking bullish on the weekly as well. We had a couple algo alerts that went off, and we could see QQQ have some momentum this week. And if we start to see tech sector start to show some significant strength, then we could just be heading right back up to all-time highs. I mean, there's no major red flags at this point. Still healthy consolidation on the S&P 500 and the tech sector. The dollar was extremely weak today, and it's actually just been the exact opposite of SPY. So SPY has, 15 days in a row, I think it was, without a high or low, and the dollar now is forming a lower high every candle, and we're going on 13 trading days in a row. So basically the exact opposite. We had support at 91.30, which we lost, and we're likely heading to daily oversold. And at that point, we're just looking for weekly, we're still in a weekly uptrend, so we're just looking for a weekly higher low compared to 89.68 and favoring a weekly equilibrium. Moving on, taking a look at IWMs, we were down 1.25% essentially. So fairly weak day today. SMH got absolutely slaughtered. It was down about 3%. So the semiconductors. Solar sector was down over 3% as well. Oil, but 0.5% in the green. It's a potential daily bull flag, and if confirmed, that would be bringing us up to the recent highs at 67.94. Silver potentially seeing its 12 and 26 EMA bull cross on the daily, and it's also a potential daily bull flag as well. Gold has yet to start daily consolidation. Daily uptrend confirmed. XBI down over 2%, so the biotech sector has been weak. And XLE energy sector essentially flat on the day, and the financial sector down about 0.25%. Healthcare is looking bullish. It's looking really bullish, but just got to be cautious here. We have no real daily support all the way down here until 116.19 and a daily inside bar and tightening range on watch for tomorrow. So taking a look at DDD, we are still in a daily downtrend, and we're getting rejected heavily at the EMAs. EMA 12 is going to be the level to break. You can see it's just been an absolute brick wall here, and we closed near the low of the day. We're daily oversold. That was the entry. I made a small entry today, but I would like to average in. I started to average in at these levels under $20. And keep in mind, we were just at $56. But we do have earnings coming up as well, I believe, the first week of May. Second week of May, so we'll be watching that. We could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross as well, and we are now in a weekly downtrend. We had a weekly bear flag, and it confirmed a weekly downtrend. So we are extremely bearish here on the weekly chart, but we'll see how big of a reaction. The last earnings reaction wasn't the greatest, and we'll see. I think we had a great reaction just after we had a surprise miss of 680%, but the stock was absolutely on fire. We had Elon Musk tweeting about it as well. It was essentially up about 11 or 12x, and not surprising, I said multiple videos that we could easily see a 10, 20, 30, 40% pullback, maybe even more, and here we are getting close to 70%, just confirming a weekly downtrend. We just confirmed a weekly downtrend after we pulled back 60%. So we can absolutely go a lot lower than you think. And especially if we saw that weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. But you need to determine whether or not you're going to be okay holding through earnings, as that could be an even bigger catalyst to propel us even lower. And on the weekly chart, we're well below the 10-week moving average. We're starting to curl and starting to see a fairly big shift here. And it's trending lower in a hurry. We have the MACD and stochastic extremely bearish. We've yet to test the weekly moving averages, though. We have the 50 weekly down at 1484, so that's a level that I'm going to be targeting, especially if we don't bounce before then. If we just go straight to there, I'm definitely going to be loading up, and I'll probably take a swing position. The position I added today was just a smaller position that's in my long-term no touch, but I'll be looking to enter in my swing account around the $15 area, 15 psychological, maybe a flush of that, and off of this 50 weekly moving average down at 1484. And then we have the 200 and the 100 down around the $12 and $11 area. But like I said, the more we pull back, the more extended we get to the downside. If we see a straight pullback to $15 from here without a weekly bounce, you better believe I'll be buying that, looking for a weekly bounce and weekly lower high. On the daily chart, we lost the 50, the 100, and now we're potentially heading towards the 200. So I really like the $15 area as a potential entry. So again, I filled today around 1860. So just scaling in, I'll add again at $15 in my no touch. And then, like I said, if we go straight there, then I'll definitely be adding to a swing position, looking for a weekly bounce. And we did lose the weekly VWAP as well. So like I said, we are extremely bearish on the DDD chart. And we're down to 1878 here, down almost 1% after hours. And not set up very well at all if the S&P 500 sees further weakness and consolidation into tomorrow and the rest of the week. On the monthly chart, you can see we're consolidating, and we had a huge bearish reversal candle here and just huge upper wick that indicated the blow off top. And we're potentially testing EMA 12 down at 1782 and then EMA 26 at 1434. So again, a lot of confluence and a lot of support around that $14 area and $15 area. So I'll be targeting that. So congrats to the bears. That was one massive pullback. Like I said, almost 70%. So taking a look at the rest of the individual stocks, on the bear list, we had DDD, NEXE, and Riot. On the bull list, we had GME, VEGA, and DFLY. And Tesla, just want to check in on Tesla real quick, down about 3.5%. And we need to be cautious here as well of potential monthly lower highs. This has been one incredible run, but we're still in a daily uptrend. We have the low, high, higher, low, higher, high. Just looking for a higher low compared to the low here at 667.84. So still holding the daily uptrend, still holding the weekly uptrend as well. And we have earnings coming up on Tesla as well at the end of the month. So in about a week, on the 26th as per TradingView. So going to end it there. And best of luck into the trading day tomorrow. Again, make sure you are prepared if the S&P 500 sees further daily consolidation. If you think names are beaten up now and they can't go any lower, you are sadly mistaken, because I've been around long enough to know that the market can stay irrational way longer than we can stay solvent. So just always be prepared for the worst and be ready for a potential bounce. Again, do whatever you got to do, right? You got to hedge. Use less capital on your trades, hold a little bit more cash than usual, whatever you got to do to help yourself sleep at night. With that, thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you a little bit later on today for a MJ sector review. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.